Hiya guys, right, it's Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right guys, as promised, we're going to be doing an interview with a former prisoner who's also served 5 years in Broadmoor. We're joined on the line now by Wayne. How you doing, Wayne? You alright?
Hello, Cody. I'm fine, thanks, mate. You okay?
Yeah, good, Wayne. I'm good, man. So, right, let's get to it, Wayne. So, obviously, we know you've been in prison. We know like other things, but before all that started, let's start with your childhood and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I did have I had a bit of an up and down childhood, really. Had a bit of a abusive, not sexually abusive childhood, but violently. My dad was really, really violent, and to my mum, to me and my sister, and I grew up just learning how not to be, if you know what I mean. Like I learned all the stuff that I shouldn't be learning at an early age, and it took me down the wrong path later in life, but. Yeah, it's just like childhood should be like you should be happy and content in childhood, but I was scared and frightened in childhood, and I hearing my mum and my sister being, it wasn't nice, and it affected me later in life, which I go into about in a minute.
So but, what you talking though? Like are you talking mental abuse? You talking physical? You talking?
Oh, so I'm talking physical and mentally. Like, for instance, say you're at a dinner table and your elbows would be on the table. My old man would have gone mental at that, But
like, what you talking? Like, just like absolutely levering you, battering your mum, battering your sister, battering you, like constant.
Yeah, not me so much, because it's my mum mostly. My mum took most of the brunt of it.
But you witnessed that, obviously.
Yeah, I witnessed it, but I had to go to boarding school. When I was 8, I got expelled from infant school, because I went to infant school, obviously, and then I got expelled when I was 8, because what was happening at home, I took it into class, and I was being disruptive and being unruly, so they couldn't cope with me, so they sent me away to boarding school for a place of maladjusted children with behavioural problems and stuff. And because I wasn't at home, I felt guilty leaving my mum behind and not being able to do anything. But being at boarding school is supposed to help you, but boarding school was the worst ever place I've been in my life, because that's when the worst ever thing in my life happened to me. I got raped and I got sexually abused in boarding school when I was 8, and it nearly finished me. Honest to God, what was going on at home and what's going on at school, I just couldn't cope with life, and I was only 8 at the time, remember, and I just had this horrible fucking bloke. I didn't cope too well.
Are you talking from other kids? Are you talking from the tutors and stuff, the teachers and stuff?
No, yeah, it was a housemaster. He's doing 14 years in prison now, so he's got his come up. The housemaster.
That was like. So what you're talking sexual abuse, like rapes, like repeatedly by the same person?
It was repeatedly raped, but it went on for about. It started and stopped straight. It didn't stop straight away. It went on for about. Because when I used to have holidays, he used to come to my house, and my mum and dad said, "Oh yeah, go out with him, okay." And I've been saying, I feel a bit sick, or I feel a bit. But I didn't want to tell my mum, because he made sure that if I told my mum or my dad that they would disown me, they wouldn't believe me, they wouldn't like me, and they'll call me a liar. And he said, if you want to see your family, do you know what I mean? Like the blackmail, or
like emotional blackmail sort of thing. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just what them fuckers do. Just to see it down, they prey on you, and they take advantage, and that's what boarding schools should be for people who want help, who need help, to go. We're vulnerable, that's why we're there, not to be abused by people who should know better, who shouldn't be abusing you, who should be helping you. Do you know what I mean? Not getting the sick pleasure what they done to me and to other people up there. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
But it was happening.
Do you know what I mean?
It was happening to how many people were in the? Was it in like a dorm or things like that?
Well, I had two friends, both the same name, But all three of us ended up in prison for different offences, no sexual offences though.
Yeah, of course.
But my other friend, he was in a prison, and he hanged himself. I only found out by a member of family said, "Oh, you've so and so hanged himself in prison." I was like, "Fucking hell!" Yeah, so he dealt with it by self-harming and hanging himself. My other mate is out of prison now. He's an alcoholic, and he's just down and out now.
But
you know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is, how much of that though? The thing is though, obviously with that, our people that turn to alcohol or self-harm or something like that, it's a coping mechanism to deal with the demons that they've normally suffered in childhood and stuff. So how did it? So as you was getting older and stuff, how did it show itself in you? Was you getting angry? Would you get emotional?
Well, I was getting when I left boarding school. I was there for 8, 9, 10. I was there 4 years, and I left there and I went to Bedford Comprehensive School. You know, in where I come from, and I was getting bullied a hell of a lot in school because I was like timid. I was frightened of the world. I didn't trust anybody, and again I got expelled from there because I was getting bullied. So I took a hammer to school, and to protect myself. At the end of the school, these would come up to me, so I pulled the hammer out. Anyway, I got expelled. I didn't hit him with the hammer, threatened with the hammer. I got expelled, and that was it really. But since then, from that day when I got expelled and I'd done that, I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I felt like, oh, that works. And what brought up, you know, that's what I thought was the norm, and my life was going down. You know, it started going downwards when I was most violent, if you know what I mean.
But the thing is, that violence and stuff, it sounds like, obviously, because just like many of us and stuff that have been through like physical and emotional like trauma as children and stuff, because obviously behavior is learned and you become a product of your environment. So yeah. After you took that hammer to school and stuff like that to protect yourself, and you realized that, listen, people are not going to mess with me, and then if you learned then that rather than being a victim, that violence is a way to show your emotions and stuff. And then from there, at what age was you now? And like, when did it first get into trouble with the police? And how did it show itself, like your emotions and stuff, anger? When did it come out?
My first trouble with the police when I was 17. I was living in my own flat. And it's a sort of police officer actually. That my first ever arrest. Because I was walking into my flat. It was my birthday. It was February, and I had a lot of cars for me because we went around the pubs and all that when I was drinking at the time. My finger wasn't out of control by then. I didn't know I had a drink problem, but I get into that in a minute.
But that was your coping mechanism again, the alcohol and stuff like that. So why did this copper just cop for all the emotion? No, did he manhandle you?
He just wanted to stop me, just find out where I was going because it was late, and he took the cards with me. And he made a comment about me being fecal dyslexic or something, or joking. And as soon as he said it, I turned around and hit him. And then he made up for assistance, and the police come, arrested me. But luckily, I only got a caution for that. Luckily, I only got a caution for that.
So at this time, he wasn't. So at this time, he was just drinking. He wasn't self-harming or anything like that.
No, not at this time. But 12. Oh, sorry, I missed that. When I was 12.
Yeah.
I was 12 or 13. I felt like that's when I think I took my first ever suicide attempt, because what was happening at school and my home life, it's a bit of a blur. I can't really remember the exact dates and times because
of course. Yeah, but like, how did you try to attempt to take your own life? There's obviously many different ways and stuff like. How did you?
I know. Sorry, but that attempt was an overdose, paracetamol or not medication, but paracetamol and drink. Yeah.
At what date did it become apparent that you had like severe mental health issues? Was you aware of it, or were you just getting on with life at this moment and stuff and so on?
Oh no, to be truthful, I didn't know I had mental health problems until much later in life when I went to prison and stuff. That's when I found out I had what was it? 18 is when my life started to go right down track. 18 to 21 when I was took off the street. So 18, I've become an alcoholic, and then really bad at using amphetamine, really bad psychosis, really bad paranoia due to the drugs and the drink, fighting, self-harm, like cutting my arms. My arms are like a map. They're just covered in scars. It's like I feel really embarrassed still today. I always wear long sleeves and stuff because I don't like people looking at my arms. But to me, it's like I look at the scars. Well, I'm still here. I'm a survivor because so arms like that. I'm not being boasted. Like. And I'm still here to tell the tale. It's got to be something, you know.
So survivor, man, a scar, Wayne, just shows that you were stronger than whatever tried to hurt you. Know, your scars, it's like, I know people that have self-harmed, and they say, I wanted to swap the emotional pain that was in their mind, and by slashing up, it was like a release and stuff like that. And that's true. That's how you can describe it. When you self-harm, people out there will know self-harm. When you cut yourself, you see that blood, and you think, you get that ultimate, because the blood comes out, and it's like, it's just like, it's like, you know, like I'm doing a Coke bottle, and it goes like that, and it comes out. It's like I use the analogy of this, like grabbing a bottle of Coke and every time you've got a problem, it's like smashing it off the wall. And then eventually, when you actually open it, you let that little, you let that emotion out, and that's your release. Some people anger, some people get emotional, some people slash up, some people just assault people.
Yeah, when I self-harmed, when I was really self-harming, like at least once a month, going to hospital, getting stitched up and that, tendons stuck together, glued up and stitched up, stapled and all that. And I thought, I've always got that release, but then I didn't get that no more from it. I didn't get that release from self-harming. The only way I got that release then was when I used to get into fights. When I used to get in a fight, I started getting hit just so I would feel something. So I would feel, I don't know, it might be a cliche, but feel it like I feel alive, you know, like, and then I'll fight back, and then. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I put it like it's because you're so used to feeling pain. When someone's trying to hurt you and stuff, that's what you're used to. It's the norm. Like, and you're like, and you take it. And stuff like that. So so this violence and stuff, this angry side of you that was like, how did it show itself to the? I know you assaulted the police officer. What did you offend him then? Did it come gradually worse? Was it alcohol related? Was it temper, mental health?
Yeah, because I was drinking a lot, and me and drink. I don't drink now. I've been clean for 11 years. Well, I fell off the wagon about 5 months ago. Self-harmed 5 months ago. Completely hammered because me and my partner, she lost the baby, and I had that as an excuse to drink, which you know, out of order on my part because my missus needed the support for me. And what was I doing? Fucking drinking, being an arrogant prick, like not taking her feelings into consideration, thinking about myself. She lost a baby as well, not just me. Do you know what I mean? And I started drinking. She said, look, Wayne, well, I'll be truthful. I got arrested. Me and her had a really bad argument. I went to hit her because she was in the army. She restrained me. And the next one, they called the police. I got arrested, went into court, and I got a fine. But from that day on, she said to me, ever drink again, Wayne, we are over. I mean, we are through. She said, I love you, but I don't like that side of you. I hate that side of you. And it made me think, the one person in my life who I love and what's good in my life, I can lose it for a drink. No, not at all. No, that's not going to happen.
So if we go, so after you'd assaulted this cop when you're 17, how did it? When was the next time you was arrested, and what were your offences like? Was it did you get let off a lot? The judge took into consideration.
Yeah, I was in court. I was in court quite a lot for criminal damage, being drunk, breaking things, just assaults, couple common assaults, couple ABHs, actual bodily harm.
Was you getting any sort of mental health help at this time? Was you being referred to the mental health units or?
No,
like
no,
doctors?
it was still under the radar. My mental health at the minute, it was still under the radar. No, I didn't know. Nobody knew I had mental health problems at the minute. Into the time when I was 21, skipping a few years now.
Yeah.
When I was 21, I had a really, really violent crime, which I got attempted murder charge, but dropped in the end to section 18 with intent, which carries the same sentence, but they dropped it for a lesser charge. But I'm not going to go into detail, but all I'll say, it brought back stuff from my childhood. It was our lodger, me and my partner had a lodger, and we got into a fight. I stabbed him 9 times, and I cut his testicles off with a pair of secateurs because of the way my mind was and how I thought he was, and I just couldn't cope.
So you perceived him to be a sex offender in your
yeah,
mind?
Yeah.
Or was that the so, and that's why you obviously you castrated him and like took his testicles out?
Yeah, it's like when I was Cody, it's like when I was stabbing him, it wasn't just him I was seeing. His face kept changing into different people who hurt me in my life. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds like this was your breaking point where it's like this is where you knew that there was an issue.
Oh, definitely. That's when. Then I got arrested, went on remand, first time in my life. Goes into prison, shitting myself, not knowing what I'm going to expect, not knowing what's going to be in front of me. And I'll tell you the most lonely sound, Cody, is that door shutting for the first time.
So where was you? So you was at a Crown Court. You were sentenced.
Yeah.
Which prison did you get sent to from that court?
Well, I've got sent into Exeter prison because that's my local jail, Exeter remand.
Yeah.
And I got December. I got sentenced. I got arrested. April '98. I got my 9 years, and then from there I went to Dartmoor prison in Devon, and during this time I had to go on something called a violent offenders course for 12 months because they said I was diagnosed as PD then, personality disorder. They said it was mixed, like antisocial, paranoid traits, psychopathic traits, and this, and a few of OCD, ADHD. I got tested for ADHD. I've got that as well. The OCD got recognised. So I had a few mental illnesses diagnosed at that time.
How was it? As you now, obviously, so you're in Dartmoor prison. You was on remand at Exeter, then you got moved to Dartmoor. You're in Dartmoor prison. These mental health issues now that they've come to the forefront, they've been diagnosed.
They were getting worse, Cody. Every day I was in prison, I felt myself getting worse, and I kept seeing the doctor, like the psychiatrist. They got me to see a psychiatrist.
Yeah, psychiatrist. That's the right word.
Yeah, that's the one.
Psychologist. You got psychologist.
Psychiatrist. One who prescribes medication.
Yeah.
First of all, they put me on Prozac. The American one, the drug is supposed to make you happy and laughing. Made me want to commit suicide and self-harm. So they took me off that. Then they put me on Lordactyl. You know, the liquid cost. The liquid, Lordactyl, I forget the proper name of it now. Quetiapine. Anyway, that made me really fat, and I couldn't get an erection, so I couldn't masturbate when I was in my cell. Mm. So they took me off that. Then they put me on citalopram. That sort of worked. Then they put me on venlafaxine with citalopram. Both together, yeah, lovely. Sort of took the edge away. But there's still something underneath, like the underlying. Like I didn't feel myself. I
How did you, Wayne, as a man that's now suffering mental health issues now, locked in this cell behind your doors? Was you placed in was you in a double cell? Was you high risk and placed in a single cell?
No, because Dartmoor, when I was there anyway, it was all single cells, and A wing, A wing, B wing, C wing. C wing back then had no toilets in your cells. They had the old-fashioned buckets. B wing was the drug-free wing, which was where all the drugs were. Fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you had B wing, yeah, B wing, and you had F and G, the non-strings, and they were bigger. As you go on the exercise yard in Dartmoor, F and G wings are these huge buildings looking over to the gym, and yeah, there's those of them there.
What was you going through? But psychologically, you're in prison. They're throwing different types of medication at you. Right?
Yeah.
So how was you dealing with life on the wing? What were the other prisoners like? Did you, because you've been diagnosed as one of the things was a personality disorder and stuff like that?
Well, to be truthful, when I was in Dartmoor, I keep saying Warble, but when I was in Dartmoor, I was a cleaner. I was on the surgery, I was on the twos, so we was open up all day, as you know, open up like in the morning, they get banged up at night, out for association every night because you're a cleaner, and because you're in the surgery, cleaning the surgery, and a bit of to be truthful, it was a cushy life. And in the daytime, I was doing this violent offenders course, and then, I made some really good friends in there, I made some enemies. But yeah, I've had arguments. I've had laughs. I've cried. I laughed. You know, when you're down, people pick you up, and when they're down, you go and have a cup of coffee and a fag with them, have a laugh and a chat, and we're all back on the, you know. But and then I became a listener. I become a listener. A listener
just for the subscribers, just so they know.
Sorry.
How would you explain what a listener is in prison? How would you explain that to someone that doesn't know?
Well, a listener is a trained Samaritan. A Samaritan is like, for like, say I wanted to talk to somebody now and there's nobody about, I can ring Samaritans up and they're at the end of the phone.
So like a counsellor. So like a counsellor.
Yeah, like a counsellor sort of thing. That's correct. Yeah, like, so, and then on each landing, you got, or is it each wing, you got two people. Yeah, on each wing, you got two people as listeners. And I was listen. I've done that for about 6 months. The reason it's so short because the bloke I was listening. No, I've got it completely mixed up. I'm Cody. I was a listener. Sorry, I was a listener. Not because I remember the person I'm talking about. You only just come in, so it was a different prison and I was a listener in Exeter. Sorry, before I went to. Sorry, it was before I went to Dartmoor. Sorry.
It's cool, man. It's not like it doesn't matter about dates and stuff. No, it's cool, man. So a listener is someone, obviously I know that, but I'm talking about the subscribers. You were trained by Samaritans inside the prison to be a counsellor, sort of people that are feeling down, suicidal, depressed. They can speak to you.
It.
And you can like listen to their problems and stuff and help them and give an advice and try and help them as much as you can, like a shoulder to cry on sort of support.
Yeah. But and there's this person, a young offender, like under 21, not in a prison, but not allowed to mix with, silly, really, not allowed to mix with. Yeah. Well, I can understand why, because some people pray and don't they? You get some perverts in prison who slip through the net and they end up on the main. And they, you know what I mean. Yeah. And then I saw him. He was a bit scared, a bit frightened.
How old? So he's a while. So between the age of 18 and 21. How old was he? About 19.
About 19, coming up 20. Yeah. 19, coming up 20. So I got really, really like I've seen him quite often. Like we call me out. We go and have a coffee and a fag, have a chat. Thought he's getting better. Next morning, the door opens and Screw comes in, he goes, oh, so-and-so, God bless him, who you see, who you've been seeing, that's like he's hanged himself. And he told me that, shut the door. That was it. Told me that, shut the door. What the fuck?
How did that affect you, that another man that you've been supporting had taken his own life in prison and then the screws popped the door, told you, and then just locked you off and then gone back to doing what he was doing?
I felt probably useless. I felt probably useless.
How does that affect? Because you're battling your own mental health issues. You've just been told that somewhat you've attempted suicide yourself, and then you've just been told that this young lad who you've been a pillar of strength to has tragically taken his own life in that prison.
To be truthful, I cried. I cried, broke down in tears. Because in Exeter, sorry, that's where I got mixed up. So in Exeter, I was a cleaner as well, and my cellmate, he was a listener as well. And honestly, I broke down, and he's seen them a couple of times as well, because each night he rose up, one on, one off, one on, one off. So when I wasn't on, my mate would go. Anyway, yes. So, but we had a whip round the wing, and we sent a big bouquet and wreath to the family. Yeah. So.
See, this is the thing. Yeah. There's a lot of people on the right side of the tracks, Wayne, that don't get to know about what goes on within prisons. They just think that we're damaged and we're criminals. And with that. But the thing is, my attitude is, I don't know if you agree with this, I always say, before offenders were ever offenders, they was first victims. And your childhood is exactly, the thing is with the subscribers, they'll be able to touch base with, they'll understand, and a lot of them have been through what we've been through.
Can I just make out there a minute? People, I know what you're saying, people who were victims, people who were victims going to be offenders. I agree with that, but only in some crimes though. I don't agree with I was abused as a kid, but it didn't make me up to be a paedophile.
Oh no, yeah, I know. I don't mean everyone, but I know what you mean.
No. What I mean, I've been to prison. I've been to the prison called Brendan Underwood. Yeah, it's fucking horrible prison. It's run by paedophiles. They voted me out. Have you heard of it, Brendan Underwood? It's like a therapeutic community.
I've heard of it, yeah, but I don't know too much about it, but I've heard of it.
Right next to it is Spring Hill, the beach out.
Yep, I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, Buckingham. Anyway, I was sitting in a group, and we every morning and every afternoon we have a group. So I was sitting in a group, we go around, I'm Wayne, I'm doing 9 years attending murder, blah, blah, blah. It goes around the group. So this child killer, fucking hell, first day there, and he said, all right then, what did you do? He said, my baby was crying an awful lot. I couldn't stop him crying. He said, okay. I thought, oh. He said, so the number started, I said, well, what did you do? How did you help him? So I ran up the bath and chucked him in it, killed him. So I jumped off my seat, had an argument with him. They chucked me out the classroom or the course. Next morning, we have a meeting in the morning, like a big meeting in the morning before you split up into different groups. And he brought this incident up. They said, who votes Wayne to go back to prison? And all the paedophiles were ready to put their hand up, and I was gone. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's really crazy.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing, Wayne. It's absolutely crazy. And the thing is, like, obviously, through you being in prison, I can imagine because the thing is, when you take a mentally ill man that had not been diagnosed at this point and then put him in prison where they're sticking labels on the left, right and centre, and they was throwing medication down you and stuff, how did you deal with the day-to-day life? Like, what was whilst you was in prison, what was your lowest moment when you was in prison, for example?
What, my lowest moment? I've had so many low moments, but
we'll just go through, just rattle them off if you want, just like different, just so subscribers can see the stress and the duress that you go through whilst in prison and stuff like.
Oh, just visits. That was what kept me going. My visits and my letters. That's what kept anybody who's gone to prison who can have visits, VOs, visits. I am a family man, so I like to love visits. My mum, my sister, my nephews, and all that. That's what kept me going. But the lowest point must have been when I was in Dartmoor. There was a lot of drugs in Dartmoor, and I became a really bad heroin addict in Dartmoor.
Yeah.
And I was on A wing, and then because I was on the cleaners and we had to, regular drug test, I got the sack, put on basic, and I moved to the drug-free wing to come off it. And when I was on the drug-free wing, I just cut up, sliced my arms up because I didn't, but I felt dirty because I thought I'll never ever take out. I'm not saying anybody who takes heroin are bad. I'm saying because I always thought because like they say, heroin is a prison drug. It numbs you through the day. It numbs you through the day. You get through the day. You travel through the day in a warm glow, and you bang up at night, and that's it. Day done. You know what I mean? So, and now I was on B-Wing, I was going for a raffle, coming from the detox on B-Wing, and then, yeah, and then
so when you was on the heroin and stuff like that, but like, was there times where you was in your cell, you was off you was locked behind your door, you've got these mental health issues and stuff, you're climbing a wall.
Yeah.
Did like you self-harm, did you ever contemplate suicide or anything like that whilst in prison, like on them dark moments?
Yeah, I felt like I said, my arms. As you can see, my arms are terrible, but I self-harmed quite a lot to cope. And then because I wanted the thing that we were skipping for years now. I was close to getting released. We're skipping a few years because there's nothing much to tell. I've been in prison still. So I'm getting near my release date now, Cody, right? I got 4 months left to my release date. So I'm loving it. I've been in all these years. I thought, oh yeah, 4 months, I'm a free man, and I'm buzzing. Anyway, so the night before my release, I goes round to my mates as a cuddle, you know what I mean, have a cuddle, shake your hand, and have a good chat, and take the number down, and stuff like that.
So you've been obviously you're getting told you're getting shipped the next day, or he's getting shipped.
Yeah. No. I didn't get told I was getting shipped. Sorry, I didn't get told I was getting shipped.
So all right, so you've just gone round to see your pad mate, to see your friend on the wing and stuff, chatting about, give him a hug and stuff like that, just saying like, take all these details and stuff to stay in touch. Obviously, when you're thinking about when you get out in 4 months' time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, yeah, that's it. But that night, the morning, the door opened. They said, "Jones, come on, pack your stuff." I said, "Well, where am I going?" They said, "You moving? Come on." So okay, so I packed my stuff up. Don't know why. Don't know where I'm going. Gets out. Well, you know the sweat boxes. The blacked out windows, little boxes. You're squashed up. But it wasn't that. It was a transit van, like a blacked out window. And on the black belt windows, it had a little slamming curtains on it. So I said, "Where am I going?" They said, "Whoa, can't tell you." So anyway, how many
people were in the escort when she was being shipped? So this is from Dartmoor.
There's three. There's one. I was double cuffed up, cuffed, then cuffed to a member of staff, a prison officer, and then another prison officer sitting next to me. So I was in the middle. So I had one there, I was in the middle, one next to me, and there's a separate seat by the sliding door, another one sat there. And then we had the driver driving. I don't know who he was. I don't know if it was a taxi driver or I don't think it was a screw. I think it was, I didn't know the person in the front anyway. Yeah. And I kept asking, due to this time my anxiety was through the roof. I was anxious, I was sweating, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't want to get into another prison regime because I just couldn't be fucked with it. And it's going on and on and on. This journey was just going on and on. And then all of a sudden we stopped, heard some gates open, well, a few gates actually, lots of locks and lots of bolts. Drives in, and you can hear, no, when I got out of the van, I was feeling what it was. So the screw sat on the separate seat to the sliding door. He got out the door, and he said, "Come on, Jones, what you get?" Oh, fucking hell. I get out. I put my feet down on the ground, no word of a lie. I goes, "Where am I to? Where am I?" He said, "You're in Broadmoor, son."
As soon as he said to you, "You're at Broadmoor," where was your mind at? What was you thinking? Your anxiety's through the roof. You're taking on this journey. No one's telling you nothing. Then he just told you you're at this notorious criminal, insane asylum for do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what I thought, Cody. I thought I ain't like that. I thought this is what in my mind. I said this is what enough is. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, fucking hell. So, but going for a reception, it was like...
What was that like? How did it work? Because you've been in prison, you've been processed in prison. Now you're at Broadmoor. Is it different? Is it more intense? Is it?
Oh, it's almost the security is heightened. The security is like tenfold heightened. You're like I got before I left when I was in reception in Exeter. You know, you squat, you put your clothes on, and you move, and then you check. But I got there and I had to go for all that again. I had to go at the time. I was going to the DSPD unit, dangerous and severe personality disorder unit. That's where I was going to, the new building in Broadmoor. And I get on to Ascot Wing in Broadmoor.
So Ascot Wing is this like highly because obviously because obviously you've got different units. You've got like you progress, don't you, from unit to unit and stuff. So you've gone into a very high risk one already.
No, actually, Ascot was like one of the not so strict wards. It was
like a bit like lower security, like not you still high security, but not as you've got a bit more freedom than you would have in a high.
It was the new building in Broadmoor at the time. This is like 20 years ago, and it cost millions and millions of pounds to run and to make and to build. And Ascot was one of the six wards on this unit. Six, you know what I mean? Like two, and two.
Yeah.
There was Ascot, Canterbury, all after racehorses anyway. All at that part of it. So I lost track what I was talking about. So I'm mindful.
No,
blank,
so
sorry.
you've been processed. You're going through the process thing. You're saying you've been strip searched and stuff. You're getting processed. So how's that process? Is it you was probably like you was probably looking everywhere, thing like that. But what was that process like being processed there compared to a prison? Like it's more in depth.
It's like more strict. Like you got to open your mouth, stick your tongue out, put your cheek, put your finger in your cheek, make sure there's nothing in your cheek. Put your hand through your hair, put your hand behind your ears. Stuff like that.
How many people around you at this time have you got? Is it one person? Is it five? Is it 10?
No, it's three, and the doctor come in because the doctor done a search, not internally, but he just had to come and check, see if I was okay, see if I had any injuries at that time, which I didn't. Because
where was your mind must have been like freaking hell, like.
Oh, my mind was going a million miles an hour, honest to God. But I'm going to say this now a minute. I was only 11 stone when I went there. I left there at 19.5 stone with all the medication.
How does it go when you're on this unit and stuff like that? What was the highest unit that you end up, if you had a bad day or you had a psychotic episode? Did you get put on a higher ward where there was stronger medication and stuff, and that you was more?
No, you end up in seclusion. I ended up in seclusion a few times, and you have like a. And if you're that much for pain, it's something called AccuPhase or a rapid trank that knocks you out within seconds.
Have you ever been on the receiving end of one of like the liquid coshy sort of thing?
I have, yes.
What was that situation? Yeah. Did you remember you was in you've obviously you did you refuse to take your medication, or have you had an incident and then you've had to jump on you and?
Yeah, because the reason I was sitting at a dinner table with I was talking to one person I was talking to. There's 12 of us on the ward, and me and this other person. You find out what people input on you, and he was not on board that, and I was in for what I was in for. So he said, because every afternoon you have to record a siesta. You have a half an hour. They go and do their paperwork. They lock you down your door for an half an hour, and then you open the doors up. And then you get on the rest of the day, rest of the afternoon. And I said at the dinner table, I said, after the siesta, I said, let's go into so-and-so's room and kick the fuck out of him, sort of thing, yeah? Because he's a paedophile, he's supposed to just make at the table what he's doing and all that. And we can hear what he's saying. The screws can hear what he's saying. And they heard what we said as well. Before the siesta opened, before the siesta finished, I heard all these, the door come open. What was that? There's a sea of screws. That was where it come from. It's right, Jones, come on, you're going to seclusion. That's why. So we told you when you get there. I walked in, And they said, well, you threatened so-and-so to do this, do that. And I said, well, they were talking about their offences at the dinner table. You didn't say nothing to them, and it's making me quite physically sick listening to and saying, oh, come and read my depths after what that's disgusting. Do you know what I mean? Like depositions, like your statements and all that and stuff.
Mm.
And they said, well, you stripped, put this on. I said, no, I ain't fucking stripping. And then I manhandled and
how many people are around you in this situation? When are they surrounding you? Are they asking you to comply? And then you've obviously said, no, I'm not stripped. So you're like in a heightened state of alert. And then how many people are there?
There was walking to the seclusion room, because this is my first time going to seclusion this time. They didn't really know how I was going to react. There must have been about 10, 15 people there. You couldn't walk properly. There's so many people. You couldn't walk. You trip over people. And as I got into the seclusion room, it's just crammed. It's stupid.
What's in the, for those that don't know, because I don't know personally, what's in the seclusion room? What's in the seclusion room? How would you describe it?
All it is, it's like a plinth on the floor with a plinth like with a mattress, a big hard mattress like a brick, and an unrippable blanket which goes over you, like a blue one, but with checks on it, like a blue thing. You can't rip it, you can't bite it, you can't hang yourself with it, and that's it. And a little pot's pissing, and sometimes sometimes there's a toilet, because in exclusion you open the door up and you go into the toilet, but if you're high risk or you have an incident, you shit in a bucket. I never done that because I didn't like doing that, so I always used to wait, no matter how long it was, until I used the toilet. So, because it reminded me of prison, like shitting in a bucket and stuff. Like, I didn't really like it. It's like degrading. It's like really degrading.
So when this incident where you've refused, so we're back in seclusion. You've refused, they've asked you to strip off. You've refused. What happened next?
They said they asked me 3 times. They said, look. This is the last time I'm asking you, if you don't take your clothes off, we'll take them off. And I stupidly said, fucking try it then. You know, thinking, what's going to happen? And then, they did. They grabbed me. So I started to, retaliate. Got the nurse on one hand, the nurse or the doctor. All of a sudden, I was passive, and then my clothes come off. I had this thing go on. And that's it. That's how it's gone.
So they didn't have to. They didn't have to like pin you down and give you like liquid Kosher.
No, that's what they did. That's right.
All right. So they did do. What does your body react like that? Because you've got no control over your bladder and you like. Do you piss yourself?
No. I woke up with my own piece of shit. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. These are the thing because
it's degrading. But they think Broadmoor's just like this place, like house people. They're spending millions of pounds on a new Broadmoor. Have you read in the paper? Yeah. They're making a new Broadmoor and turning the old Broadmoor into a bloody hotel. You know what I mean? It's like... What was
it like? So how did it work with like visits? Like did your mum and your sister come up on a visit while you was at Broadmoor? And if so, how does it differ between a prison visit and a visit at Broadmoor, which is this high security hospital?
Well, it's like... It's more, I don't know, the security's lessened, actually in the visit room, there's only 2 screws actually, one sitting down the desk and one just walking around. But then there's like vending machines there and drink machines, and yeah.
How long do you get for a visit?
Well, when I first went there, it's 3 hours. You have 2 hour and a half in the morning. If you look, they call that class a all day visit. You have an hour and a half in the morning and an hour and a half in the afternoon. So 3 hours, you have 3 hours all at once. But then they cut it down to 2 hours. Then they cut it down to hour and a half. Then they cut it down to hour as the years went on.
What was the regime like at Ashworth? Sorry, not at Ashworth. At Broadmoor. Like at what time was you unlocked? Did you have a key to your own cell?
Yeah. When I first went there, when it was on the DSPD and the dangers, the personality, you get locked up at 9:30 in the evening. At 9:30, you get locked in your room. Then 8 o'clock in the morning, the door unlocks. and then really you open then into siesta. Siesta, the door's locked. Open up again then an hour later, and you're out all day. Because when you first get there, you're not allowed to do nothing. You got the induction and stuff, and find out how it works and that. But the good thing for Broadmoor, it really had a good like the workshop. It had welding, woodwork, carpentry, mechanics, gardening. What's on this out?
In the workshops, did you mix? Because obviously in workshops in prison, you can end up mixing with other prisoners off.
Yeah. I was talking to one of the guys there who was on my ward. I said, I've been here a while. I said, which is Yorkshire Ripper to then? He went, it's behind you. I looked behind me, and he's sitting behind me, Peter Sutcliffe. Like one eye, big fat chap.
Go on.
Because in the photo, people will think he's like he is in this photo, like the moustache and the trim beard and the goatee and all that. But no, he's not like that. He's like really, really, really big guy. He's got a big scar on his face. He's got one eye because he's been attacked. But yeah,
so did you speak to because for the subscribers and stuff, Peter Sutcliffe is the Yorkshire Ripper, the serial killer. He's currently in Franklin Prison, but he was in Broadmoor at the time as Wayne. So did you have any interaction with Sutcliffe?
No, I didn't. No, I just said, all right, hello. That's it. And he went, all right, all right, lad, or something like that. But yeah, I didn't
so
sit down and have a cup of
You said hello to him and stuff. Who else? Is there any other notorious inmates or high-profile inmates that you came across?
Not really, I'll come across, but actually on his ward there was the Black Panther was there. I forget his name now. What's his proper name?
It's not Robert. I don't think it's Robert Black. I think he was called something else, but I can't think who it is.
Oh, that was the young brother, wasn't it? The young brother. Yeah. And you had
he was that DJ guy as well, weren't he? He said that.
Oh, Richard. I read in the paper. He's in prison again now. I read in the paper he raped someone from Bedford before he went to prison, and then he went to prison, and then he got done for his child on. Then he raped all these people. He was a DJ, and I was reading about him the other day, and it's like, fucking hell, I never knew any of that about him. He's crazy. You know
but when you was in Broadmoor and you initially landed there and stuff, like what your emotions? Because you've got this paranoid personality disorder, you've got you've got all these different labels that people are putting on you. So you must have been very hypervigilant and very aware of your surroundings, because people can switch in an instant, and it's a very dangerous paranoid environment.
I got attacked and I got stabbed in the mouth and stabbed in the head a few times, because I was on Canterbury ward. Because I'll backtrack. The DSPD unit got closed down because they couldn't run it, or they wasn't running it properly. So we all got moved to the old brick buildings like Canterbury and all that. So I was on Canterbury ward, and I was washing my cup one day in the kitchen, because you have China cups there and stuff like that. So I was washing my China cup. Somebody behind me said to me, I didn't really understand what he said, and as I turned around to see what he said, he stabbed me straight in the mouth with a pen, went straight to my lip, nearly knocked my tooth out, and stabbed me in the head a few times.
Just randomly, just like not...
Yeah, just randomly. He thought I was somebody I wasn't, or I thought I said something to him which I didn't, and then I went and got my face seen to and all that. And the next morning, I've seen the head doctor on the ward. He said, "You going to press charges?" I said, "No, not at all." And he said, "I do apologise for that." He said, "He slipped through the net. He should have been on a different ward. If he was on a high school ward, like acute for really fine people, and he come straight through to rehab ward, which shouldn't have happened, but it did. But mistakes happen, don't they? But yeah."
What's the worst thing you've seen in prison? Or Broadmoor. What's the worst thing you've seen, like, in prison and in Broadmoor? Like, is it like really bad incidents you've seen and it's just like it stayed with you, or it was like, wow, like it's blowing your mind a bit, like something?
Yeah, it's funny. It wasn't in Broadmoor. It wasn't in Broadmoor. The scariest thing I've seen. It's like I first went to Exeter Prison when I got remanded, and I was on association, and the pool table there's a pool table. Is there two pool tables? On one pool table, I think. And anyway, and I was right at the other end of the association place, away from the telly. And all I heard was this high-pitched scream. I mean, a really blood-curdling high-pitched scream. And all of a sudden, I see this boat run past me, and his face was peeling off. And what happened was, he had hot water and sugar mixed together, boiling water, chucked in his face, and his face was peeled off. And for days and days, I had nightmares about that, and it frightened me to death because I think this man is in prison. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. I mean, I know what he done wrong. He didn't pay a debt or something. You know what I mean? Like tobacco or whatever else he didn't pay for.
So when this is the thing. So, but the thing is, have you ever been diagnosed with PTSD, Wayne, on top of your other diagnosis? Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. Yeah, I had like certain smells bring stuff back to me, odour and tobacco and stuff like that. Does that take you back to prison? What do you still have flashbacks to your childhood and stuff, or does the medication you're on now, does that nullify that?
No, I've got anywhere where I smell old over and it takes me back to the head, to the teacher's room, the head, because that's where he smoked. It's all open. As I walked into the room, that's where you can smell. Do you know what I mean?
When you was in, so what's, obviously my subscribers, a lot of them have suffered mental health issues, a lot of them have got different diagnoses and stuff. How many different medications have you taken in your life from what you've been through, whilst in prison, whilst in Broadmoor, what medication?
Well, walk with me a minute, mate. I was just saying that. I go to my cupboard a minute, and I pick my medication up every Monday, and then I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on 8 tablets a day to keep me the way I am now. And without them tablets, I'd be a wreck. Honestly,
what's the name of the medications? Like, are you on strong antipsychotic?
The antipsychotic one is on 20 milligrams of olanzapine. That's quite a strong. Then I'm on an antidepressant, venlafaxine. That's 150 twice a day, so that's 300 milligrams once a day. Then bisoprolol, because I got bad stomach. And aloprazole, because I got ulcer. Propranolol is to lower my blood pressure, because I get anxious and angry. I get high blood pressure. And Zolpidem is a higher strength, then it's higher than there's no parts to get rid of. And Zolpidem, there's another sleeping tablet before that one, but they put me on that and they kept me up for 2 days, so they changed it to that one. Also, I forget what that one's called now. That's 7.5 a tablet or 15 milligram tablets, but I forget what it was now.
What was the strongest medication mentally, like for your mental health that you've taken? I'm assuming it was in Broadmoor. And what was the one in Broadmoor that was like, they must have been dosing you up to the eyeballs?
Yeah, I was on a depot, like a depot injection. Like I had it. It was Risperidone Consta, and it was.
So that was injected into your arse, or?
No, you can have it in your arse, or you have it in your arm, in your muscle.
Did you take that? Was there ever a time where they said to you, right, come on, Wayne, you've got to have your medication, and you've refused, and they've had to take you down and had to forcibly inject you or anything? No, not for medication. No, I've always complied with medication, but when they said to me, no, sorry, they said because someone died. My dad rang me up I rang my dad up, and he told me that someone I know died. So I got off the phone. And I was a bit upset, and I said, look, someone in the family died, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I seen the doctor the next day. Without talking to me, he said, we'll put you on this. I said, no, I don't want medication. I just need to talk to somebody. He said, we ain't got enough time to do that. We do it to everybody. You know what I mean? So he said, take this. I said, I don't want to take that. But we had a bit of a talk. It went on for 3 hours.
So I took it for about a week, and I come off it again. It's just to help me sleep a bit better in the night time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, instead of talking to you, they would have to give you medication. You know what I mean?
Well,
the pedophiles, they chemically castrate them. Yeah.
The thing is though, Wayne, do you think, obviously, as someone, I was sexually abused by, so not to the extent that you were, but do you think that, like, whether it's a paedophile in Broadmoor or it's a paedophile in prison, do you think they can be rehabilitated, honestly?
No.
What do you think should happen to them? Obviously, chemical castration, once they're released, who's gonna foresee, who's gonna make sure that they take that medication? That they can't do.
No one. No. What I think they should do. This is my view. Anybody who's been abused, put the abusers on one island. No. So you say you got this big island, right? You got all the monsters, like, yeah.
Mm.
Then put a whole lot of women on the island as well, with their eternal instinct.
Mm.
They'll soon sort of fuckers out. Give them all a bloody something in their hand to help them on the way. You know what I mean? They'll soon make. You know what I mean? Because women, I've got maternal instinct. You don't get many women sexual in this, do you? You do, but not as many as you do men.
It seems to be mainly men, predominantly men that are sexual offenders and stuff. Wayne, when you was in prison and stuff, and when you was in Broadmoor, right? What were the side effects of the medication? Like, what was the worst side effects you've had from? Like, what drug gave you the worst side effects?
Oh, sweating. No matter how cold it was or how hot it was, I had a towel wrapped around my neck 24 hours a day, soaking wet within an hour. I was just sweating. And another medication made my mouth go dry, like I couldn't swallow. I woke up in the morning, I had to get some water in my mouth to wish it around my mouth, swallow a drip of it to ease my throat, and then they put me on a side effect medication called Prozitidine. Have you heard of Prozitidine?
They sound like strong meds. I'm sure the subscribers will know a lot of the medication you've used. I use certain ones, but not to the extent. You sound very powerful antipsychotics, these amongst other drugs.
Yeah. That's that. Hey, Cody, that's why I don't drink. When I had a blip, like I said, when my partner lost our baby, I stupidly and selfishly started drinking, like, and all my family found out about it, and then they thought, oh no, he's going to earn one way. Well, he's back to his normal self. He's back to his old ways, you know. But after the chat with Sally, I stopped. That's never looked back. Stop. That's it. She said she'll leave me. That stopped me doing it. You know what I mean? That stopped me doing it.
If you didn't have Sally, where would you be now?
Because if I didn't have Sally and the help and the support she gave me, I'd either be dead, an alcoholic, a dry addict, or be in prison.
And if you didn't have Sally and stuff, would you have would you have stopped taking the medication, and then you was unpredictable and you could have seriously hurt someone?
Yeah, if I didn't have Sally and I didn't have what I had to lose, like now I've got all my family back, except for certain people in my family. They don't want us, we fell out and we don't know I don't know what's happening. But yeah, if I didn't have Sally, I wouldn't be in my flat now. I'll be keeping on people's sofas. I won't be I'll be back to the same horrible person I was before I went to prison.
So this lady, Sally, is sort of like, in many ways, like sort of saved your life. She's give you a focus. She's give you something to live for. She's balanced you out as well. Do you know what I mean? On top of the medication.
That's what I think. Water. She's my rock, honest to God. My family, my auntie P, she says to me, we've been down a few times to see her, and she goes, Wayne, she is perfect. She is bloody lovely. My mum and sister met her Sally for the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and they love her. And they said, Wayne, Sally's the making of you, you know? She is the making of you. She's brilliant. They love her. Yeah.
I think you said yesterday when we spoke, like the other day, you said like that you've changed for the better since you've met her and stuff. She's had a positive influence on you and your life.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Yeah. My family can vouch for that. Hey, Cody, I give out for that. Bloody hell.
This is what I mean. It's crazy, man. Like I say, the best. And the thing is, Wayne, there's no one else that deserves it more than you. Do you know what I mean? Things you've been through as well. I mean, like when you was in Broadmoor and stuff, and you was going backwards and forwards between these different like Canterbury units and stuff like that, and wards, like how did it come that you was like released from Broadmoor?
Well, I was there for 4.5 years, and I've had tribunals. For people who don't know what a tribunal is, I went to a tribunal with a solicitor and your care team. They say, my solicitor says, why I should be going to RSU, a regional secure unit or medium secure unit. So in the end, because I was doing so well, I had no incidences, I was off my depot, I was on another medication instead of being injected, and they said, if you carry on like this for 6 more months, Wayne, you can go to a medium secure, which is, so I jumped all the hoops they asked me to jump through. 5 years later, 6 months later, I was there, and that's it. And I've been.
So how long was you? How long when you was in the medium security? So how long was you in the medium security before you actually was a free man where you could go and do what you wanted and stuff?
From start to finish, from being Broadmoor to out, took 10 years. I was in Broadmoor for 5 years, and then for the other 4.5 years, I was in different low secures. Then I come to where I am now in Devon, and I'm in my own flat now. I'm not under anybody now. I was on Mapper. I'm off Mapper now. That's mostly Asian Blood Protection.
You was Mapper 3.
I was. Then I was 2, then 1, then I come off.
Yeah, because you proved you're ready. The thing is as well, what I found interesting when we spoke the other day, and we've not touched on it now, is when you left Dartmoor, you was like you've got like just under 4 months.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Because you said you went to Broadmoor and you was in front of someone, and you said, like, what do you want to do while you're here? Sorry, I didn't tell you to describe it. I know. I said, I had 3, that's what I was getting on to about half hour ago, actually, but I got a lost track, remember? So, anyway, when I was going around to see my mates and all that, I got a lost track, and I said, anyway, so I'm losing track myself now. I've been talking for ages. I didn't know I was going to be sectioned, but because when I went to Broadmoor and I got out, I thought, in the back of my mind, I thought, well, I've only got like 3 or 4 months to do it, and then just get back and just chill out, innit? So I go see the doctor the next morning. So this was in Broadmoor, you've gone to see the doctor in Broadmoor,
this is in Broadmoor, go see the doctor, and he goes, he goes, talking for about 10 minutes or so, and then he goes, so what you going to do, courses-wise and activities-wise, whilst you're here in Broadmoor? I said, well, not a lot. I've only got like 3 or 4 months and I'm gone, so there's not what's point me doing anything. He said, sorry? He said, no, you don't understand. He said, you're here indefinitely, you've been sectioned. And I didn't really compute that at the time. And then it hit me. I thought, indefinitely? I said, what do you mean indefinitely? I said, they said, you've got no release date now. You're here until we say you can go. So if they say I'm not ready to go, I could be still there now if I carry on the way I was carrying on. I could never have been released there. Fucking scary, really.
I'm telling you, man. So if someone was to say to you, right, tomorrow, Wayne, like hypothetical situation, tomorrow, Wayne, you've offended again, right, Wayne, you've got to, obviously you wouldn't have a choice, but would you rather go back to prison or would you rather go back to somewhere like Dartmoor? Not Dartmoor, fucking Broadmoor.
Prison.
Why is that? Why would you prefer a prison over Broadmoor?
Because if I don't have a life sentence, I've got a release date. In hospital, you don't have release dates. You're there indefinitely until they deem you well enough to be released.
But if you were to serve, say it wasn't indefinite at Broadmoor, and would you prefer Broadmoor or would you prefer prison?
No, prison. Honestly, I know where I stand in prison. You know what to expect in prison. In the hospitals, the doctors they change their mind, then the staff change their mind. Then it's just.
Did Broadmoor take a toll on you psychologically with the medication, with the fact of you putting a paranoid person with a paranoid personality disorder and many other things in a place where it's little things become, you don't know what's going through these people's minds. They don't think how we think. Do you know what I mean?
It's like when I went to the low secure, I had to have counselling for So what I went through in Broadmoor and how I felt in Broadmoor, I had to have counselling to help me get out over Broadmoor, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I had to have counselling to get over it. Yeah.
I find it strange, right? In prison, if you went to, obviously you've been in prison, and obviously like, paedophiles are segregated from general population for the most part. But the thing is, in Broadmoor, you're sharing units with people convicted of rape, sexual abuse.
Next door neighbours, so fucking something your dinner table could be. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not good. Not good at all.
Yeah. So what activities would go on?
Sorry, in the news, they say, in the news when they talk about Broadmoor, paedophiles, rapists, murderers, that's what they say. They don't say any other offenders.
Yeah.
So when you say you're in Broadmoor, they think you're either one of them three things. A murderer, rapist, or a paedophile. That's what they say when they go there. But it's not. It's people attempted murder, there's arson, there's assault, there's all sorts of people there. Not just them three kind of people.
Like you said yourself, armed robbers and things like that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, armed robbers, Robert Black, he was an armed robber. He was there, you know?
That's what I mean. This is the thing. I think they think that it's the worst of the worst, but the thing is, I wonder how many of these people that have ended up in Broadmoor are actually, like, how much of it stems from their childhood, because the mental, physical and emotional abuse they suffered growing up, do you know what I mean? I mean, you wouldn't wish what you've been through on your worst
enemy. No, not at all, no. Even though we had a bad childhood, I love my dad to pieces, you know? He's a different person now. I'm a different person now. Everybody changes, but not paedophiles. They don't change. Do you know what I mean?
My attitude, you know I always say, and you might have seen it in the vlogs where I say with sex offenders, if you go to prison attracted to men, you'll leave attracted to men. You go to prison attracted to women, you leave attracted to women. You go to prison attracted to children, you will leave sexually attracted to children. And the longer they're in prison, them sexual urges increase.
Of course they do. Exactly, Cody. Exactly right. There ain't no cure except for a bullet.
And that's exactly, and a lot of people feel the same way and stuff. I mean, the thing is, it's just crazy, Wayne. But like I say, the life experience, the life you've lived, if you obviously it's horrific and stuff, and you won't wish it on your worst enemy. But if you change one moment in your life, if you wouldn't have met Sally, if you wouldn't have met Sally, and that's the crazy thing.
But then, Sally, without Sally, I know this is a cliche. People might think, "Oh, you soppy prick." Without Sally, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Honest to God, I wouldn't be sitting here in my own flat, paying me bills. You know, I've never paid a bill in my life before until I moved in here. See, I've been away for 20 years, 10 years in prison, 10 years in hospital, 20 years I've been off the street.
So and how old are you, Wayne, as well, for the subscribers, just so they know how old you are?
I'm 42. I was 21 when I went away. I'm 42 now. I've been out 13 months.
And you've met, and you've gone through all this shit, and you probably thought like, and then you meet this lady that has changed your life for the better, and she's balanced you out.
We're engaged to be married. It was brilliant.
It's crazy, man. And you know what the thing is, though, Wayne? The best people in life that you meet are the ones that have been through the most shit, because people.
Of course.
And you've got these people that are wrapped in cotton wool and are spoiled, and they can't relate to us. And do you know what I mean? And then you've got people like yourself, the subscribers. I know the subscribers, and I know how they'll relate to you and stuff. The psychological abuse, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse. Like I said, you went to this. Like fucking, what was it? The school, the boarding school and stuff. And
the boarding school.
And like I say, you were vulnerable, and then you was taken advantage of. They put then your criminality and your like mental health stems from that, and you addictive personality. You battled addiction. You've been very open with that. You've got these demons from your past and stuff, and it all has chipped bits off you, but it's made you the person you are today. And
of course,
it's crazy, man. Honest to God, it's absolutely mental. But
Cody, thank you for interviewing me. I hope what I spoke about can help anybody out there to hope anybody can relate to how I come across. I'm not very articulate. I'm dyslexic. I'm not very brainy. I can't talk properly because I've had a head injury and I stutter a lot. So
Wayne, the thing is, before we get off, I need to ask you if it's okay with you to ask these questions from the subscribers and stuff. Some of them you may have answered in the conversation. Other ones you might have not. Right. So we've got. So a subscriber by the name of MK Nasty asks, I'd be curious to know if Wayne ever came into contact with any of the high-profile patients in Broadmoor. Now, we have touched on this, Wayne, but if you want to go over it again just to answer it for the subscriber.
No, just Peter Sutcliffe, who was in my own workshop, that was it. Nothing, I only said hello to him. I wouldn't have had a cup of coffee with him. The craze were dead and gone. Like, people think, we've seen the craze. No. The bloke, Bronson, he was there in the 80s. He got chucked out for ripping the roof off. He wasn't there when I was there. No, so really, no, not really, no.
But Peter Sutcliffe, yeah, he was in the workshop.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
So going on from that, the MK Nasty asks again, what was going through Wayne's mind when you passed through those gates at Broadmoor?
I didn't know I was going for the gates as I got out of the van. When I got out of the van, and they said where I was, my heart sunk. I said, this is what enough is off. And then it just my 5 years of hell, really. That's basically it. Yeah.
Like, so you was nervous. Once you realised you was at Broadmoor, though, your emotions were all over. You was like this.
Oh, yeah. I was scared. I felt scared, first of all, because I knew what kind of... I've read about that place. I used to read books about psychopaths about that place, you know?
And you're there standing outside it, cuffed to yourself, double cuffed to a screw, and you're now a patient at Broadmoor.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking hell. That's what Jimmy Savile in the 70s, he had a key for Broadmoor, and he went around when the woman was there, waiting all the women under medication, the dirty bastard.
Well, do you know what? It's weird you should mention that. That's coming up in a minute. A subscriber's asked about it.
Oh,
right,
okay.
So there's a really good subscriber. This guy's called Lee Latest. I mentioned him earlier. He's a former prisoner. He suffered with mental health himself. He's a really nice guy. Very, very interested in you. Says to me, he says, can Wayne tell us, how he survived his lowest moment and what kept him going? Whether that be in prison, whether that be in life, whether that be in Broadmoor. How you survived your lowest moment?
That's a really good question. That is a really good question. It was the friends you make in prison. It's like you meet your friend out here, it's a friend, but in prison, a friend is more of a friend. Do you know what I mean? You got that bond. You mean if you're low and you got a good mate in prison and you go and see him, you sit down, you have a fag, you have a coffee, and you chat. That's what got me. My friends got me through. Yeah, honest to God, my friends got me through prison.
So your friends so that was in your lowest moment, how you survived. Your friends kept your head up and stuff and kept your chin up. And
yeah, definitely. The camaraderie and like you said, the brotherhood. It's true. It's strong.
You're all going through. You're all like treading water. You're all struggling and dealing with your own shit. Some people will try to push you under. Some people will build you up. Some people will be a shoulder to cry on because the prison situation is desperate, isn't it?
It's like I was saying. I see mice turn into men and men turn into mice. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So Lee Latest asks again, is Wayne still regimented about his newfound freedom in the sense, does he still carry out any routines like...
Yes, I'm up at 6 every morning. I used to eat the same time, but I don't now because my partner finishes work at like different times, different nights now. Yeah. Like tonight she works at 8 o'clock, so there's some to eat when she comes home later on. So yeah, I'm out of that, but I do get up at 6 every morning. But I don't go to bed at the same time. I go to bed a bit later. So yeah.
Things that's your regimented stuff from prison and from
Broadmoor. My OCD, my place is spotless. So
that's the next bit of the question. He says, does he like cleaning like most ex-cons and run a tidy ship, so to speak?
Oh, you can eat your dinner off the floor. Yeah, honest to God, yeah.
Like, do you still do you know what? When I do my vlogs and stuff, people always, if you look on my kitchen, like on the side where the window.
Yeah, it's always spotless. That surf washing powder. Yeah.
Yeah, man, all the time. Says here, so again, Lee Latest asks again, does Wayne feel frightened of the outside world and the rarity of it all?
No, not at all. No, not what I've been through in life, in prison, in hospital. I don't feel frightened. I feel apprehensive, but I don't feel frightened. No.
Right,
I'm not being the big headed in that. No.
He's asked another question. I told you Lee's very interested. He says here, has Wayne got any newfound skills, or does he have any goals he wants to achieve in life?
Yeah, I want to be a counsellor. That's what I like to do more than anything, is to counsel people. Yeah.
So you're talking like mentor like former prisoners or mentor people that could end up going down the same route that we've been down on mental health?
To stop people when they just before they go down this road, to try and stop them there before they go down. You know, like if someone got me when I was 18 and said, "Right, come on," sat me down, but then again, I don't know if it would have worked. So I wouldn't have listened because you know, when you're 18, you cocksure yourself, don't give a fuck what other people. What you do is right. You know, so well, I like to be a Samaritan, or I just like to help people. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what? This is the thing, though, Wayne. People that have been through things that you've been through, they're always very selfless people. That it's not about them. They like to help other people. They're not asked about themselves. They want to help other people. Do you know what I mean? And
my partner does that all the time. She puts other people before her all the time. She's got a heart of gold, honest to God.
Yeah, man.
She's a heart of gold.
The next bit he said, as Wayne has survived Broadmoor, he can surely survive anything. I wish him all the best for the future, and I wish him every success. That's Lee. Then we move on to the next question.
Mate, respect for that, mate. I really appreciate it.
He's a top guy, mate, Lee. It's a
I like that. Yeah.
Sarah Gray, she says, Wayne, what's it like in prison? She said, I've never been to prison, and I don't intend to go. I just wanted to know what it's like. So how would you explain prison to a lady that doesn't know how it works and what it's like?
If you like your freedom, you like going out when you can, you like to get up and make a cup of tea when you can, have a fag when you want, or do what you want when you want. You can't if you go to prison. Your liberty is took away. You cannot do anything unless a screw says you can do it. If he says you can't do it, that's it, you can't do it.
How would you describe life on the wing to her? How would you describe life on the wing and the regimes and the do's and the don'ts and advice?
Never grass.
Yeah.
Be the three monkeys, see no evil, speak no evil, say no evil.
That's the one.
The three wise monkeys.
What about how would you explain to the regime, the do's and the don'ts, and how to be and stuff, and the dynamic on the wing?
Try not to borrow. Don't borrow.
And why is that way?
Because say you got to make, can I borrow £100 to do? Yeah, that's back payday. Double bubble, double trouble, isn't it? So double bubble, you get stuff you got to pay double all the time. Unless you know that person and you get it a bit cheaper, but not very many because it's their profit margin that we're raking into, isn't it? So, yeah.
That answers that one. So there's a person called Music is Life. This is a subscriber asks.
I've heard of that before. I've heard that name,
yeah. Yeah, it's the YouTuber's account.
Okay,
They say, Wayne, please describe what it is like in a high-security hospital. What the visits are like in a high-security hospital.
We've done this, haven't we? It's more. There's only two staff in there, one behind the desk and one walking around. But there's only it's a lot more laid back. You don't have. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's only like 4 people at a time on a visit as well. So it's not like a prison visit. It's smaller and it's more intimate.
Smaller.
Yeah. So that's correct. Yeah.
So we touched on that. We've covered that anyway. So there's Music is Life asks again, Wayne, if you refuse to take your medication orally in Broadmoor, can they forcibly inject you with a different level of medication?
They can, yes, yeah.
And that happens regularly on a regular basis.
A lot of people who are mad. Oh, I'm well. I don't need my medication. Yeah, you do. And next thing you know, they're being chased around the wing, and they get restrained and jabbed, and that's it. They're asleep.
And that's it. Yep. Music is Life asks again, Wayne, are patients using illicit drugs in the hospital? So you're talking obviously heroin, coke.
Yeah.
They said if so, what drugs are being used?
Well, you know what? In Broadmoor, never seen any drugs. Never seen any drugs like that. You know,
I can't imagine it's like a Cat A prison. Cat A prisons that there's still drugs about, but with Broadmoor and stuff like that, like I say, I think they want to see if people get drugs into the prison, and if so, what are they?
Yeah, no, I've not. The 5 years I was there, I didn't see any. No, none at all. But we've seen that. The only police I've seen Subutex in one hospital. That was it. That's the only hospital I've seen drugs in.
Was that a medium? That was a medium.
Yeah, that's medium. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that one. Mr. Golden V asks, and this is about Jimmy Savile. He said, I heard that Jimmy Savile had the keys to Broadmoor and was friends with a Yorkshire Ripper. Can I ask Wayne if he had any experience or knows anything about this?
No, I wasn't even born at the time.
But you alluded to the fact that you'd heard that like.
Oh yeah, only it was in the papers and what the staff used to talk about. Yeah.
This is the hold on, Mr. V again. Hold on. No, can't think of a name. This person asked. Sorry, I was thinking. Then it says it does Wayne feel that in Broadmoor they are given drugs for their mental health issues, but in huge doses, it suppresses feelings, emotions, and more importantly, the urge to lose their temper and maybe fight or cause trouble. And how difficult did he find it to adjust when he got better and was released? So how did you find it upon release and stuff like that? But obviously you went to a medium security.
Yeah, I went to medium security. I had to go through all, high, medium, low. I had to go through all of it.
So you spent 5 years in Broadmoor and then 5 years working your way from medium to down to low level.
And all the way, everyone the medication I read this 1 minute ago, that's been reduced from a lot of medication. So remember, I was 19.5 stone when I came out of Broadmoor. You've seen the photo of me now. I'm 14 stone now, so I'm back to my normal shape again now. So it's quite hard, but I don't know. If you can bear with it, you'd be okay. Honestly, yeah.
If you was going to give advice to someone that's like, say they've got a trial coming up in 3 months' time and they're potentially looking at a stretch in prison, what advice would you give to them, Wayne, that might end up in prison for the first time through your experiences? What would you say to them?
Oh, I don't know. It's what I said before. Like, never steal at anybody's cell because pastry is hated.
What about like smoking and stuff like that? If they're dependent on cigarettes and stuff with the smoking.
There's no smoking in prison. So if say I was going to prison in 3 months' time, I'll give up smoking now. I would honestly give up now because when you're in there and you're behind that door and you go give up on day one and the door shuts and all you're doing for 12 hours is pacing up and down, please try to stop before you go in, isn't it? Because
we spoke about this the other day. When you was behind your door, right? Obviously, the biggest thing I say to people, the most dangerous thing in prison, isn't other prisoners, isn't the weapons and stuff like that, isn't spice. It's your own mind because it can take you to dark places. How did you, when they're behind the door, does different things to some people watch TV? How did you?
I wrote poetry. Yeah, I wrote poetry.
And was that your release? Yeah. Like that's how you like? It was like it relaxed you and stuff. It gave you a focus.
Yeah, I used to write about my experiences, and then I used to write a lot of letters home, a lot of letters, to friends. I used to write. When I went to prison, I couldn't read or write. I learned to read and write while I was in prison. So that's what I've done. Yeah.
What are the things that other people would do behind the door? Like what?
Oh, you can watch the telly. You can read books. You can do a cell workout, a circuit in your cell, like push-ups, sit-ups, and all that. You can matchstick, more than like get little matchsticks. You buy them from the canteen, not matchsticks with a strike on, but the model matchsticks. And you can make like model cars, tobacco tins, picture frames,
helicopters,
or you can, like,
gypsy wagons, all that sort of stuff.
Or if you ever like the dough, they make it out of bread, and it's like a dough. The bread dries, and it's like China. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, there's a guy that used to do like teddy bears and stuff, like the belly, the head, and stuff in the ears.
Mum made me a rose for my mum for her birthday, and she loved it. She still got it to this day. Yeah.
So go on with so now you're out and stuff like that. You're still on your medication and stuff, but like
still on your medication. I'm just taking every day as it comes. I'm not planning weeks down the line. I'm taking every day as it comes at the minute. You know, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100%, but I'm a lot better than I was. You know.
How would you like if someone was like? What would you say to those people that like want to like brutalize prisoners and stuff? Like with fewer police on the streets, if the way that prison is, do you think that prison works?
Yeah.
Do you think prison works?
Not really, no.
Do you think that what are your thoughts on prison? Like, what can it make it worse? Can it start mental health problems?
There's not enough help for mental health issues. People who got mental health in prison, they think they're just playing up or bad. But if you've got mental health, you're locked behind the door, and it feels like it feels like the walls are closing in on you. It feels like you're suffocating in your cell. They need to make a hospital, prison or something. They need to get more places for people with mental illness. That's my point. That's what all I got to say.
If you was in charge, if you was made in charge of the Ministry of Justice tomorrow, who obviously run prisons and are in charge of prisons, how would you change things, Wayne, personally, through your life experiences, through your experiences personally? How would you change?
Well, I'll change. I'll put more staff in and more money into the mental health system. I would bring in chemical castration like they have in America for the sex offenders, like and stuff like that. And I don't know.
Would you reduce the prison population?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely, most definitely. Not for because people know, but I won't reduce it in the fact that I will have more like home, big houses, big mansions, like all the different flats, and like you got farms you work on, and you got projects you do, building projects or apprenticeships and stuff for people over 40 doing apprenticeship. You know what I mean? There'd be a lot more jobs and a lot more get up and go and a lot more enthusiasm to do stuff. You know.
Mm. So what courses did you do when you was in prison? I know you did the Samaritan's course and stuff, the listener course.
Yeah, I done a welding course, MIG and arc welding. I done a carpentry course, ceramic course, a poetry writing course, the health and hygiene certificate for the surgery. I had to do that twice. Yeah. My first one ran out. Cleaning, how to use manual handling and stuff like that, and how to use the buffer, polishing the floor, stripping it, polishing it, making it back to shiny again. I've done quite a lot actually. Yeah.
Hey, this is the thing, and when the thing is, what was powerful is like the fact that you was battling your own mental health problems, and you still became a listener, and still because by speaking to these people, these prisoners that open up. And they're telling, some of them just keep it to themselves, and sadly they take their life. But then when they're telling you the problems, the ones that do speak out, you're taking on their baggage, emotional baggage, and you're battling your own demons and stuff. That's a powerful thing, that.
It did affect me because I wasn't ready in my mind to help myself really. I was still self-harming with wearing long sleeves to see people, even though I got fresh cuts under my sleeve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the worst? Yeah. What's the worst self-harm incident you carried out where it was like really severe and you knew that you'd gone over the top? It wasn't
the worst one. The worst one. I was on in Exeter. I had enough one day, and I went in the morning to say, "Oh, can I get some razors, please? You know the chuckable razors, the yellow ones."
Yeah, the disposal ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So I grabbed 6 of them, went back to myself, popped the blades out with a knife, got 6 blades. I cut my arm, my left arm, from top, from wrist to elbow, tendons, arteries, all gone. And then I lost so much blood I passed out. And they done the check, seen me passed out on the floor. I had to rush me to hospital, sirens going, nearly died. Well, nearly died. If they didn't do that check then, I would have died.
Wow, this is the thing. Wayne, so let's say that there's a lad that's starting out, he's getting involved in crime and stuff, and they've got the potential that one day he might end up in prison. What would your advice psychologically? Say he had mental health issues and stuff, and he ends up in prison. What advice would you give him? Would you tell him to speak to the listener? Would you how would you?
I'll ask him when he goes into reception. Tell him the truth. Say that he suffered from mental illness. They'll put you on the hospital wing for the night to assess you, and then start that way. And then from the hospital. Yeah, that's it.
But if he's on the wing and he's got demons and stuff and he's contemplating suicide, what would your advice to be to this prisoner?
Listener straight away.
And focus on the positives and speak to a listener and because that listener, when you're in prison, you're a listener. You are available 24 hours. You might be locked behind your door.
Tony, always, anyway, all through the night, all through the day, doesn't matter what we're doing, we'll stop what we're doing and we can see wherever you are.
So because obviously listeners, some prison, like in certain prisons, you've got listeners on each wing and stuff, but you've got a lot of freedom to go from one wing to the other and stuff like that. Say someone got moved to another wing, you might have a connection with them and you can go onto their wing and speak to them in their new cell on a new wing and stuff. What was the course like, Wayne, for the listeners, for those that don't know, like the listening scheme? How long was the course? What did it entail?
6 weeks. You had different scenarios, different, like the Samaritans will be us with the problem, so then they'll be in front of us, and then we got to tell them how we would deal with it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
what other things did you have to do?
You get a certificate, you get a badge with your name on and photo and that, and you do stuff like but just generally like role play, really, just how you would talk to somebody, how you would come across, just the way you are, your body language, your demeanour, the way you talk, the way, just the way you come across. It says it all, really.
See, that's good advice, and this is the thing, because you did that scheme, and like I say, by speaking out and by you're saving people's lives. I mean, obviously with that 90.
Hey, Cody, my phone's gonna die in a minute.
Yeah, it's right. It's right. We've done an hour and a half. Right, listen. I'm going to leave it here. I'm very grateful for your time, Wayne. Tell the subscribers, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Wayne's story. Can you relate to him? Put your comments in the comment section below.